Back at it again. Morning coffee. Morning here in Nevada. Over here in northern Nevada. I-80. Feel like I live on I-80. Well, I'm definitely on I-80 a lot more than I'm fucking home. Anyways, let's dive into the video, shall we? So let's hopefully get to the point of making you guys think I'm nutty. Seeing how, like, if the last video people thought I was nutty because I was talking about property ownership, and if that's a nutty concept to people, you guys are going to be freaked out on this one. But this is a video that I definitely wanted to redo and to get to other understandings of this, because this is actually really important. It changes the world. And when I mean change the world, this is everything. You ready for it? Are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble with your fucking mind. Mind of Opex. Let's begin. So, I've said this many times. You are a creator. You are powerful. You have abilities. You have the ability to change the world. Now, this is generally understood through perception. If you do not perceive that you are going to change the world, you're not going to change the world. It's your take on it. It's your intention on it. And of course, this is nothing new on my channel, but I have a lot of new subscribers that are going to be blown away on a lot of these concepts. And then when we dive into deeper concepts, which we are going to get to the deep shit in this video. So hopefully you guys are ready. I was going to say a credential. I've studied the occult for many years. I understand the occult. I use occultic things, because I don't want to spoil the video. I do things that the occult do every single day, and it changes my life. I have powers. Yes. You guys are already like, powers? What are you, fucking a Super Saiyan? What the fuck are you, powers? Captain Planet, he's our hero. Like, what do you mean powers? No, we all have powers. Now, for example, I worked out today. I have a muscle you can't push in. You can try to push it in. Not going in, baby. Why? Because I have strength. Strength is a power, right? So we can already say that I have a power. I have the power to move things. I have the power to move a tool. I have the power of suggestion. So I can suggest to someone and manipulate someone how I deem possible. Do you think it's normal for a guy to fuck a woman? Yes. Why is it? I know that's a weird concept for you. Some of you virgins out there, you fucking losers. Why is it not unnormal? Why is it not weird for a man to fuck a woman? Go to a location and start talking to a woman. Because we have a power and an intention to do so. That's a power. That's strength. That's an ability. Now, we can dive into how we manipulate the world, but we're going to dive into that a little later so I can teach you how you can manipulate everything around you. Now, there's this saying that I've definitely said many times on my channel. If you change the way you perceive things, the things that you perceive begin to change. So it's basically, if you see the world on a lens, that is how the world is going to react, or rather, that's the intent behind it. Even if it's unconscious. Because you are strong, you are a creator, and you are a unique individual. See, your eyes have a lens into the world in which takes information from the world, puts it back into your mind, and your mind figures out what that world is. So, the eyes give the information, the mind puts it into a picture. Your eyes, this picture that you see, that we think is objective reality, it's your brain figuring out what that is. It's your eyes are just the lens. Now, of course, I've talked about that again in the past. But what we are going to dive into is a bunch of these concepts in one. If it's your mind that paints that picture and you perceive what that picture is. For example, some people might not be able to see something far away. All right? So it's not that that thing doesn't exist. It's your interpretation why it's fuzzy. Is it fuzzy? No. It's not fuzzy. It's your mind interpreting something because it couldn't interpret it because it couldn't figure out what, let's say, a sign said. You know, New York City, population, whatever, right? That's a sign, let's just say. Well, here's the thing. You weren't able to identify what that was because your mind couldn't figure out what that was. It wasn't that your eyes couldn't figure out what that was. Your eyes is just trying to get that information. It's your mind interpreting it. For example, let's just talk about your sensory system. All right, so my eyes are top notch. I can see in my peripherals in high definition. My eyes are so good, it's not even funny. I remember I was in jail, and the guy goes, because you have to be, they give you an eye test when you're in jail. And I was in jail, and I remember there was a sign, and he goes, how far down can you read? I said, the bottom. He says, can you read it for me? Where do you want me to stand? He goes, I guess where you are. I'm like, I can see that perfect. You want me to go as far back as I can? He goes, I guess. I walked back. I walked out of the room. I was outside that room, outside that, in the hall, past that. And I can see it. And I still read it. I'll give you an example. But that's because my mind interprets the picture faster than most people and better than most people. Now, there is an idea of the eyes. For example, my grandma had a surgery for her eyes, her cataracts, right? Cataract surgery. And she sees so much better now. But what she saw before was cloudy, right? So your mind can't pick up what that cloudiness is. But when you clear the lens, it's easier to see, and your brain can pick it up a lot faster, right? But all the eyes are is the lens. Is it cloudy? Your eyes depict the information, your mind deciphers it. If your eyes have a problem picking up information, it's going to affect the picture in your mind. Now, there's a reason I said the eyes, because my eyes are fantastic. But, you know what I'm terrible in? My hearing. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that my hearing is bad, because I hear everybody, right? I hear everything. It's not that I didn't hear you, it's that I couldn't make out the words. Your ears aren't the job of making out the words. You can call me like an old man with my ears, right? So I hear everybody, and you can be talking as clear as day. And especially if you're talking fast like my dispatcher. My dispatcher's on 15 cups of coffee when I talk to him. Oh, I need you to do this, and then we're going to do a reload there, and we're on like 15 other things. I'm like, whoa, slow down, man. Slow down. I have to figure out the first thing you said and repeat it like 15 times for my brain to paint that picture. See, my hearing isn't very good, but the hearing isn't because of my ears. I can hear everything. I don't have a dulled down sense of hearing. In fact, I hear things miles away. But my brain's ability to paint the idea of the sounds and putting it into words, and then putting the words into information that I understand. So effective communication is bad for me. But my eyes can perceive everything at a much better level. I mean, I can see things at a much better level. This is going to be a long video, so I apologize. But there's a reason why I'm saying this. It's your brain's ability to figure out what that information is. And a lot of times, your brain's wrong. Now, an easy way to figure out if your brain's wrong, or your brain can be wrong, which is very simple. Sometimes you might be saying something to somebody else, and they thought you said something different. Right? It happens all the time. Like, for example, well, I'm giving you a fake example, but what if my dispatcher talking fast, and I'm like, okay, he said this, he said that, and he said that, and I was like, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Is that? And he's going, no, I didn't say that. I said do this. Oh, okay, I thought you meant this. And the reason why we have trouble with that is because our mind is interpreting things, not the ears. The ears are just the information grabber. So the type of frequency and information that is going through the ears. It's your brain's ability to detect it. Going back to the eyes real quick, and then we're done with this shit. The eyes, don't put the picture in your brain of what that thing is. The eyes literally just decode or give you the information. It's your brain decoding it. Inside your head, it is pitch black. Or, well, you can say that there's brain electricity shit going on, right? But the point is, you figure out what that external thing is. For example, tons of mountains, blue skies, long roads. It's my brain figuring out what this is. That's how intelligent of creatures we are. It's intelligence that is casting the shadow. It is the belief that is casting this into our reality. It is not truly objective. That's why I've made videos saying that everything is subjective. Everything. The objective reality is manipulated by the subject. It's very simple to understand. So this is why I've always said that the universe is in you. You have your own separate universe. This thing that we're casting out is all in your brain. That is in here. It's pretty fucking wild once you realize that. Everything that you see, whether that's the nice mountaintop views to pornography on your telephone, right? Everything that you are visioning is right here. So if the world, let alone the universe, is in here, and you're perceiving all of that, and you're being able to move through it all in a three-dimensional, some people can argue for, three-dimensional space, which is a beautiful thing. And in this reality, that's all we can do. It's the height of what we can do. Now, it's important to realize the subject versus the object. Because the objective isn't exactly what everyone perceives. Because it takes perception to see it. They have this idea, of course, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Of course it makes a sound. But no one can detect it without consciousness. You need the ability of awareness and consciousness to take that information, or else that information is done. It takes a conscious mind to perceive that. Without the conscious mind, the object really does happen, but it's not in the universe. Are you understanding that? So that's rather important to understand. It's the universe is here, not there. That could be the objective is true. Don't get me wrong. But no one can clearly define objective, because it always takes consciousness to perceive and interpret the data, the information. So, let's dive into an example here. Why belief is so important to changing the universe. Belief. This is going to be a long video, but I hope you guys stick with me. Let's say you're a feminist, you're a woman. I don't make as much as a man, blah, 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 and you're getting all this rhetoric in you and all this information. Well, what does information do when it goes into the universe? I keep pointing at my head if you're just listening to this. When I say universe, I'm pointing into my head. Feminists would believe that this information would change the reality that is going around them. And what that is doing is that is manipulating the universe. Because here's what's going on. She might be like, feminist lady, says, I don't make as much as a man, I don't have as many rights, I need to be empowered. So this is going to alter the universe, her universe. And it could alter other universes because of manipulation, intention, belief, etc. So she might perceive the world when she's going into a job that, oh, I'm not going to get it because they're going to probably hire him before me. Oh, listen to his fucking credentials. Oh my God. You know, like, it's the perception. And the reason why you might not get the job or you might make less is because of facts, not because of a bias or anything like that, right? Which could be true because as a man, I would know that women might, depending on the age or whatever, she might get pregnant. There, I'm out of worker, I'm out a lot of money, and now I gotta hire somebody else anyways. So why would I want to risk that burden? Or whatever, right? So it becomes more of a risk or whatever. This isn't a video on feminists, right? But I'm just saying that perception is going to make sure that she is getting paid less, right? So if you're a black man in the ghetto, there's a big idea in the community. The belief is there's systematic racism that's holding them down. So he's going to go to a job interview, and he might be thugged out and thinking that, you know, well, they're going to give it to this white dude. They're going to give it to this fucking white dude. This fucking whole thing's racist. Look, it's a white employer, and I'm in here at the interview with another white dude. Oh, fuck, listen to his fucking credentials. Jeez, they're never going to give it to me. It's fucking racist. If that's your belief structure, the world is going to react that in which that vibration and frequency is put out. The universe is your universe. So your perception is correct in your universe, in your subjective mind. You are that powerful to make and manipulate that creation that you put into your mind, that information, because everything that's pictured into your mind has to be a result of what you believe, what you can perceive. That's why when information comes into your mind, if it does not agree with your perception currently, and it alters that perception, the majority of people block out that information. It never hits home because it doesn't fit the narrative of the universe that they reside in. You understand that? So everything has to align to their perception. But until they change that perception, they can't let in that information. And because the information doesn't get let in, and no individual crucial critical thought is taking place to take away from that perception and to alter that perception, you're going to be stuck in that perception. And you're not, that ability to have a change of thought or perception will cease to be. And then everything around you is going to fall in line to your perception. Now, you change your thought. You're that black dude in the city that came out a little thugged out, but, you know, then realized, well, maybe I shouldn't be all thugged out. Maybe I should get a degree in the thing that I want to go for. Maybe I want to do this or that. Maybe I want to be good in customer service, so I'm going to treat everyone with a smile and respect and you know, don't put certain people first and, you know, have a good way, charismatic way of going about with the customers or whatever, right? You change your perception and say, I'm going to get this job. You know, and don't think in the back of your mind that, oh, they're going to give it to this dude because systematic racism. But when you look at how you perceived it, becomes the result. Your belief is right there, intertwined with your intention. You actually intended this to happen because you don't want to lose the belief structure. Now, how do you get around this? Lose the belief. Me personally, no beliefs. I will surrender to new evidence if the evidence is stronger than the previous belief or idea or thought. 2. Also, realize that you are powerful and you are creating this. Again, know thyself. Then you realize what kind of powers you have on the universe that's around you. And once you realize the powers that you have, you can manipulate those abilities to be able to do your bidding. See, you wonder why somebody's not good at something. Let's say a man picking up a woman. You know, I need a wife and kids, and I don't know how to do it. I'm not good. You gotta change that perception. You say that you're not good will already make you not good. Everything that you speak is powerful. You gotta understand, what you speak is what it is. Your thoughts, same thing. Because, of course, a word has to come from a thought. Now, if you speak, I'm no good at picking up a girl to be a wife and, mother to my children. I'm not good at it. That's going to become your reality. Straight up. And until you take that curse that you have put onto yourself, until you take that curse out of there, and then speak a new spell into the universe, I'm going to get that woman. And I know exactly how I'm going to do it. See, people think you need confidence. Where does the confidence stem from? Confidence stems from either experience that you know that you can do this, or no experience, but you know you can do it. Why is that important? It's important because, for example, you go up to a woman, and I'm just going to stick with the same example. Go up to a woman as a man, and you have this idea that, no, I can't get her, but I'm going to try anyways. That aura, that vibration comes to her. You're going to give off that you might not be Mr. fucking confident. That you are not sure that you're going to get her. Right? So your body, your frequency, everything is aligned to, you're not going to get her. So the first thing she's going to do, no, walk away, buddy. But if you had confidence, then boom, you can walk up to her with confidence, aura, body language, everything's there to be like, hey, I'm here, you look pretty, I'm interested, whatever, right? Then you can make it happen. So this is the power of intention. And what you speak or intend will inevitably happen in the universe. It's literally fail-safe, 100% accurate. There's only one possible thing to override that: an opposing intention or spell. Why am I talking about intention and spell? They are one and the same. But when you speak, you're putting something into the universe that is authoritative, like an authority. This is a God. It's a God aspect. Think of the Bible, the Christian Holy Bible. What did God do to create the universe? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The truth hidden in a Bible text. God spoke. Universe. One phrase or verse. This is a spell. He put a spell out there and it became. Same thing here. Again, where's the universe? It's subjective. This is the universe. You are here because of this. Without this, we aren't here. Obviously. So, when you speak, and that derives from an intentional thought, you know that the words that you are saying is powerful and has specific meaning that correlates to your intention that you are putting off in the universe. What does the Bible also say? When you pray, when two or more come together, your prayer becomes more powerful. This is something that is proven through science that it becomes more powerful. And it's proven through the data because you can empirically prove this, right? Me, I just say, I'm going to be strong one day. Powerful enough. Guess what? The intention is there. I spoke it. It becomes powerful. That spell changes the world to me. Why did that change the world? Because the information that I have put forth actually will manifest because I spoke it and I put power into those words. I will be strong one day. Guess what? One day, I start working out. Then I work out again. I work out again. I work out again. I work out again. 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And what happens? Now it's not I'm strong one day. I am strong. And if you speak that, you're going to be strong. But I need to get stronger. If you say stronger, and you know that definition of stronger, you're going to keep getting stronger. But if you say something, the same words, it depends on your intention and your definition of it. So sometimes it's your, of course, watch my video on communication. Everything that I'm saying in this video, I'm talking about 10 different videos in one. I'm putting them all together for you in this one. Your communication, your tonality, your aura, your definition of the words, all change depending on your intention. If you say, oh, I'm going to work out tomorrow, or let's say I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes. You can say, I quit smoking cigarettes. And you put that shit in the trash right then and there because that was your intention. That's going to become your reality if you keep that spell. The only thing to stop that spell is a counter spell or counter intention. So if you say, oh, I just need a cigarette, you put a new spell into the universe. You put a new intention into your universe where it's going to manipulate your universe. See, and we're going to dive even deeper, so stick around for a little bit longer. Sorry, guys. Might not make a video for a while so more people see this video. So, if your tonality was, I'm going to quit cigarettes tomorrow, and you didn't put any oomph to it, any real intention to it, that spell is going to be how you designed it to be. Because if you're if you're going up to a woman, and you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to get her. Well, guess what? How she's going to perceive it? He's not going to get me. But if you went up there, I'm going to get this girl, I'm going to treat her right, and blah, 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 and that's your intention, then she's going to see, oh, he's going to treat me right, he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. It's your intention. It's the spells that you are producing. It's your manipulation of reality. Again, this isn't probably stuff they want you to know. But I'm here to tell you all this shit. So you're manipulating your universe, which you are adding other objects and other consciousness into that reality, right? That's why some people, they might have a dream. And that dream, like let's say you have a distant cousin. And you have a dream of your distant cousin you haven't seen in 20 years. The weird thing is, all of a sudden, you go to your mom's house or some shit. Yeah, your cousin just talked about you last night. I was on the phone with him or her, and you're like, whoa, that's weird. That shit happens to me all the time. Why? Because you have added information to your universe. Now, if you look at an eye very close up, I'm going to dive way too deep for you guys. Hold on. I'll save that for another video. I don't want to go too deep into this because I'm going to lose you guys. And we're already this far in. So, alright. So think of it like this. Again, spoken language. Now, what is a curse? A curse is a spell. A curse isn't necessarily a word. I mean, it can be, very well. But it's not the word fuck, right? Unless your intention is to make it a curse. A curse is a spell that you can put onto someone. So, or yourself, right? You're someone. So if your curse is, I'm never gonna quit cigarettes. You put that curse, that spell into the universe. And that curse is gonna stay with you until you die. Or you cancel the curse. So this could also be, you know, some people say fuck you's a curse to somebody else. Well, you hope bad things for that person, but that's as far as it goes. But if you are specific with your definition and your meanings, that is a true curse. So if I say, you know, let's say, you know, if I went, okay, let's say I don't like the person. And I say, I hope you fucking break your leg because I know that you're going to be doing a show that night or something, right? You're going to be doing stand-up, let's say. Let's say I'm a stand-up comedian. I hate the other stand-up comedian. We hate each other to death. And I say, I hope you fucking fall and break your leg. That's a true curse. Because, well, if you take out the word hope, that's not a true curse. You're gonna fucking fall and break your leg. Or something like that, right? That's gonna put a curse on the other person. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen, but your intention is the curse. That is what a curse is. Now, if we are friends and we're both doing stand-up, I say, go up there and break a leg. It's my definition of it that changes. Right? So I'm saying the exact same phrase, but my intention, my definition is different because I'm being friendly. Break a leg, you know, like funny, right? Like we're friends, right? It's like friends, guy friends. How do we engage with each other? We make fun of each other. That's the general gist of men. We make fun of each other all the time. If somebody does something stupid, we make fun of them. Even as boys. Women, they do it a different way where they compliment each other. So men make fun of each other all the time, but we don't mean it. But women compliment each other all the time, but they don't mean it either. Anyways. So, let's talk about ideologies. Now that I explained at least enough, probably not very clearly, but again, this is a long video. So, ideologies also change your universe. This could be religion, this could be socialism, you know, an ideology. But you can manipulate the masses on an ideology. Hashtag anarchy, you know, if you want positive morals and help other people with that, and that will change their lives. That's a big impact into the universes, into each individual subjective person. Now, think of this. How the fuck did Hitler get into power? Come on. That ideology, the thought, through speech, through intention, through spells, transformed people's minds. Now, if I asked you right now, is it okay to do what Hitler did? You'd be like, no. Fuck no. That's not okay, right? The majority of people, if you're not a fucking psychopath, right? But he was able to manipulate and change the way that the brains worked in his community, in his country, in Germany. he was able to convince people to go along with it. Whether that was fear, love, etc. It doesn't matter. The point is the ideology. National socialism. And if they were able to convince everyone to give up their guns, to go through all of the things that they had to go through in order for them to kill millions of people, try to take over the world, you know, the superior race, all that shit. Think about it real quick. How did it go from here to countless ditches full of dead bodies? How did it go from here to countless ditches? I'll tell you how. Through spelling and intention. You don't think you're powerful? Come on. Look at history. Look at Stalin. Look at Mao. Look at Hitler. Look at any of these evil ideologies. See, in America right now, there's all this national pride. Everyone's waving flags, and they have a bunch of symbolism. And then on your TV, they show you different things, and it's all designed to program your mind to do their bidding. If we all can agree that what Hitler did was wrong, why is the United States doing this? Why does the United States go kill innocent people, bomb innocent people all the time? And you're okay with that. Why? They programmed your universe. They have programmed your mind to believing that. So anything that disrupts that mindset is blocked. Any information that comes in the ear, the eye, doesn't matter how it's sensed, but how the information comes in is blocked. You have a block from anything that goes against how you are programmed. And you will fight that programming to the death. Right? Just like the Nazis fought to the death. Right? How did Japan get involved? Well, they have to manipulate and control the population. See, no one's pulling out of Iraq right now because we all believe it's justified. If they come up with a problem, reaction, solution type scenario, let's say trade towers fall, and everyone's like, we gotta do something, I don't know what to do, and the government's like, got the solution. Now that there's a problem, you reacted, you had the solution, no one's gonna be like, don't do that, that's wrong. You're killing people that had nothing to do with this. But because no one's taking a step back and thinking for themselves, they get brainwashed by the program that is designed to manipulate your mind through intention and spells. The more George Bush Jr. said the word terrorism, the more you believed it. So then, war on terrorism. And the more these words, these spells, came under your mind, you were under the spell. People are under the spell of socialism right now. Don't you see that when I go into a Canadian healthcare system, that it's much cheaper than American? We got to be socialist. How about you take a step back from your brainwashing and realize that you're spending more money? Not more than the United States, but spending a lot of money, because not only are you paying 35, 40% of all that you earn to government because of the brainwashing. They're helping us. We can't live without government. We've been brainwashed. And because you've been brainwashed, you can't understand that, hey, most of your money's getting taken from you. And you still have to pay. It just seems cheaper because they've already taken the real money. Right? I get this all the time. People aren't ready to wake up. People aren't willing to break down the walls of the spells that they've been under. Everyone's under a spell. And it's easier now than ever to be under that spell. Before it was religion. Religion was the spell that your rulers used. Then it was money, like I talked about last video. They have money and ownership over everything, and you don't even question it. Why? Think of a rat in a cage. It was born in the cage, grew up in the cage. That's all it ever knew was the cage. It knew its little water bottle spout. It knew the little fucking hamster wheel. And it knew where its little pellets were. And it knew that it wanted to fuck whatever you put in that cage. If it was a male rat and you put in a female rat after that, it knew, oh, I gotta fuck this now. Instead of being like, what's the real world like? You're not gonna understand that real world because that information that hits your brain is gonna be too much and you'll never think about it. And it's blocked because it'll destroy the walls that you're in. It'll break down all the barriers of the spell that you're under. Why do you think humans... Oh man, I almost spoiled the next video. Never mind. I gotta bite my tongue sometimes. We're already 40-something minutes into this. So I gotta bite my tongue on that one, because that's a whole video in itself. Alright. So ideologies, brainwashing techniques, spells, intention, manipulates the individual. Why do you think feminism exists? It's because it was trickled down through the powers that be to break up the man from the family. This is something that you can objectively see. Feminism, you can see on TV that they're making men into dumb fucking morons, right? They're devaluing men. They're getting men out of the equation because men are so powerful. We are fucking powerful. We can do anything. We can move mountains. We can just stand up. All we have to do is stand up. Nope. I'm not paying that speeding ticket. Okay, well, everyone stops paying their speeding ticket. Are they going to go around arresting everyone? We're not paying our speeding tickets anymore. We're not going to pay taxes. What can they do? Right? They can't do anything because we're not brainwashed anymore. Just like I said in my last video, they brainwash you to think that the federal government has control over you outside of Washington, D.C. They don't. There is no legal entity, not even in a legal sense, that they have power over you. They have nothing over you. So they brainwash you to believe it. And once you believe it, that you got to pay your taxes and all that other garbage, it's a lie, it's a scam. But they brainwash you. So you believe that you're less and less powerful. That you don't have these abilities to create and change the universe. But I've given you examples of Hitler and fucking socialism and all these other ideas and how one thought can turn into a spell that can brainwash everyone and put a spell onto people. Right? If a woman is very sexy and the guy is there and can fall under the spell of the woman, how is that possible? You didn't counter that spell. So therefore you are under the brainwash, under the spell of that woman. Now imagine if a third party person just took you and be like, dude, stop being brainwashed by her, she's taking advantage of you or something, right? But you're pussy whipped, you're fucking under the spell. I like that. You're under the spell. And if a third person party wants to wake you up, it's reflected. Because you can't lose that in which you have a spell under. Unless you put out consciously yourself a counter spell. Now, of course, the guy can do everything he wants to you know, to kind of rationalize with you. Hey, you know, this woman, she doesn't even like you. You got that pussy, you know, 2 times now, but you're under a spell, man. No, but I love her. Why? Why is it that easy to put you under a spell? Because that's how we are wired. We are wired to create, to destroy, to manipulate. That's what we are designed to do. How do you think you see a skyscraper get up there? Big feats like that doesn't take one person. It takes one person to put a spell out there to other minds to make it negotiable that everyone gets involved in something, right? How did Hitler rise to power? That intention, that belief, that idea was so infiltrated the skulls of men and women and children. And people put up their arms. Hail Hitler. Hail the Nazis. That's what they did. They put a spell onto the population that they are going to rise to the top and take over the world and all that other shit. And they brainwashed everyone into it. The only way, for example, all these people mad at Donald Trump, for example, it's not one person having the power. First off, the president doesn't have any power. The president's job is to make sure that you are brainwashed under the spell and you're going to agree to what they're going to do. Like raising taxes, for example. Well, we need to raise taxes because blah, blah, blah. And then you go, yeah, that is something that we need. So yeah, I'll forfeit more money. But people think Donald Trump is the bad guy or the good guy. Why? Donald Trump or one person has no power unless you are an accomplice. He needs a nation of accomplices, people that are willing to do the same thing. Do you think Hitler himself was powerful enough to change the whole world? Yes, through intention and thought, and then speaking it, which is called a spell. Put a spell on people, making you the dummy accomplices. So don't be afraid of the person. Be afraid of the power from the person. The mind changing, the mind altering, the brainwashing, the spells, the curses. That's what you need to realize. Because if one person was to have power over another, it's all in here. It's not strength, it's not holding them down and building a cage, and that's not how you do it. You give them the brainwashing thought of agreeing coming along with you. See, if your world was totally objective and you, or let's just remove that because that's impossible. If your world was 100% your subject, so you have a subjective individual mind and that is it, and then you surrender to reason and evidence in philosophy, and you know yourself, you can't get brainwashed. You understand that? Knowing yourself, you realize who you are, you realize your power, your energy, what you're capable of, or exceeding that in which you are capable of because of your intentions and your spells that you're putting out into the universe. Everything is possible. And the way that you can avoid the brainwashing traps is by staying objective. And if you can be easily manipulated through a guy on the television saying that, oh, there's a disaster in this area of the country, a hurricane. So it's scary, a hurricane. And then you're like, oh, look at what's going on there. And they're just showing these small little areas of disaster and this many homes are out of power and all that shit. You're like, oh, I don't want to live there. Well, that place might be a great place to live. And you're going to be brainwashed into believing that, oh, hurricanes. When you think of North Carolina, you think of hurricanes. Or you think of, Kansas or Missouri or Texas or Oklahoma, and you think tornadoes. That's because they brainwash you to think that way. See, if you just look at the evidence and the proper reasoning, your subjective reasoning behind it, that's what you need to surrender to, not to somebody else's brainwashing. Whether it's a guy on TV, whether it's your friend, whether it's your parent, whether it's your priest, whether it's your president of the United States. What they speak, you need to take the words and rationalize what those words mean. Not only is he saying the truth or not, rather, what am I going to let this person brainwash me with? It should be not at all. Should be not at all. So how did Hitler kill all those people? He convinced everyone. He brainwashed everyone. Right? He's not going to have an opposing force against him if everyone's for him and ready to fight to the death for him and for that cause. They're not fighting for him, they're fighting for the cause, what they were brainwashed with. Don't fall victim to curses and spells and start saying I am or start saying I am instead of I can't. Say I can or I am more, and those things will change. If your perception is the world's against you, that will always be the case, because it will never switch unless you make that conscious intention to start switching the way that you perceive things. If the TV gives you a perception and you download that data, it's your brain falling victim to that belief, that idea, that information. The data that is in your brain that you believe is going to be the universe that is created. And there's only one way to counteract that. Just like in my power intention videos, just like you are a creator videos, the only way to combat that is to put an opposing spell and intention into the universe. If you go up to that woman with all the confidence and belief that you're going to get that woman, the only way that that can be backfired is if she says no more intently than you say yes. Why does one football team beat another football team? Intention. They intend to win. But Opex are both intending to win. Who intends to win more? Intention is hard work, dedication, etc. And if you just say, again, communication is important. That's why I want you to watch that video on communication from me. Communication has many forms. And many alters, many forms of these alter what it is that you were truly intending. If you say, I'm going to quit cigarettes tomorrow, and you don't really mean it, but that's what you said, that definition has to be itch-made. Get out of the equation. Because unless you put power into your words, and for example, why do interventions work? Because many people come together and you surrender to the spells. The spells being, for example, let's go back to my punishments video. Again, we're almost done with this video. But my punishments video, I said that there's a tribe in Africa that instead of putting a punishment on the person who did wrong, let's say the person stole something from another person. Well, this is how the tribe takes care of it. They don't put them in jail. They don't say that you're a scumbag, you're a piece of shit. You're not shunned from the community, the tribe. What they do is they circle around the person for 2 to 3 days. Not non-stop, but 2 to 3 days, to keep speaking spells onto the person of good things. They would have memories of good things that that person has done and speak those good things. Remember that time when I was going to say a name, but I don't know African names well, so I'm not going to butcher that or go down that path. But remember when so-and-so went to the well and didn't have the strength to pick up the water, and you went over there to help her? Remember that time when I wasn't doing good and I was depressed? You came over and spoke good words to me? You're a good person. And everyone just circle this person and talk about all the good they've done. What is talking about good do to a person's psyche? To a person's universe? Wow, I am a good person. Wow, I do good things. That isn't me. That person wasn't me. That was a fault. That was bad. But what I am is good. Look at all these things I've done good. I'm a good person. I'm going to bring greatness to the tribe. Thank you for telling me these good things. That's why people go to church and they say, oh, I did this bad thing. Oh, it's okay. You'll be forgiven for that bad thing. Now let's talk about good things. Oh, that's good. Oh, give it up to the Lord. Your brain will alter that perception because you will change that perception based on the amount of spells. And if it's someone that you respect, for example, it could be the president, your priest, whoever, your mother. If you respect somebody, that spell can change you. Or if it's a multitude, a quantity above quality, that can change you as well. That will change how you perceive things. Just like you perceived that we had to go into Iraq, which had no reason at all, but everyone's backing it up. Why? Because you have changed your perception to just agree. Surrender to that information. That's why our current state of affairs, like putting someone in jail, going through court, talking about everyone saying that was a shitty thing you did, that you should have never done that, that doesn't fix a person. That does not fix a person. In fact, you're going to teach that person that I'm a bad person. I did so bad. And that curse will become your reality. It's going to baptize in an evil way to an evil mindset. That's why when you baptize somebody, you talk about good things, the good things that are going to come from this. The good. It cleanses the evil and it instills the good through intention and spells. But when you go through court and you do all these bad things, that is what is now baptized into you. That is what is sown into your DNA. That is sown through your consciousness and in your mind. You are now evil. You are a bad person. Okay, we're going to stop this video before it's an hour. I can go another 10 hours. Easy. But we're going to have to cut this one short. I wanted to explain your powers and explain your susceptibility. Explain that you can be brainwashed, and you are brainwashed, by the way. Unless you are completely 100% not believing in anything that you hear. Unless you, for example, unless you actually start forming your own reality by your own type of intention and your own type of research, not really research, but your own evidence, and you have your own reasoning behind it. For example, I shut down everything that I ever learned ever. I had to wipe my mind clean in my younger 20s. I wiped my mind clean of everything that I was taught in school, from religion to everything. Wiped it clean. And then I went out and investigated the world through philosophy and realized what is in the world. And once I did this, I started to get higher levels of consciousness. I started to see more. I knew who I was. I realized what the universe was more objectively. And I surrendered more and more to philosophy and reason, evidence. And the logic that I have created to understand something was a self-fulfilling understanding that I am going to come to that realization. That nobody's going to tell me how it is. Because I was lied to through history books, through everything. And that the world around me isn't what it seems. My walls were taken down, and what was put up was an understanding of the reality that was. If you do not do this, you are just surrendering to a very tunnel vision type of life. You're not going to see the greater good. You're just going to see what you believe. You believe that the world's against you, the world's going to be against you. You see that the sky is the limit. You can do anything in the world. That becomes your reality. What you believe, you will grab out of life. You say, I'm going to be a millionaire, and you have this intention in the universe, and you're putting out the spells. What can stop you from being a millionaire? Putting a curse on that. Putting a counter spell on that. Oh, I'm not going to, life is too hard, I'm not going to do it. Boom, that becomes your reality. But you were on the fast track to becoming a millionaire. Becoming a millionaire is easy. Having a great life is easy. You just need to lose that perception. This is all there is. This little tunnel vision. This very, very small frequency that you're living on. That you are brainwashed. You are powerless. You can't do shit without a fucking permit. That you can't go speeding without a cop coming behind you. You are powerless. And with that mindset that you are powerless, could be unconscious thoughts. It could be a subconscious thought. But you are powerless. And why? They are trying to instill in you that you are not powerful. Because the only thing that can stop the matrix and the elite and these walls that are being put up is a strong mind. And what I've told you, lose the ridiculousness of your brainwashing and start seeing things the way they are. That's a very tough thing to do. To see things the way they are. People are so quick to look at a rose. Oh, that's beautiful. The rose isn't beautiful. The rose has thorns on it, and it's trying to live and prosper. But it is not beautiful unless you perceive it to be. I'm not saying to not be an optimist, but I am telling you that you need to see things the way they are, or else you're not going to understand it. If you love your wife, you're going to have a perception on your wife. I love my wife. She's a great person. But how much do you really know your wife? Look at it in a third-party person that's looking at it more objectively. Is your wife that great of a person? I'm not telling you to not think so, but you can also have the pessimist side. How you look at your wife negatively. You might look at her as, what a fucking bitch, she doesn't ever help out, she's lazy, she's scum. You're putting out words that are going to become that in which that she has to surrender to, and that becomes the brainwashing. I am a piece of shit. And he's a piece of shit. And everything's a piece of shit. That negative, that evil is going to embellish and take control over each other. Just the same way that you're brainwashed through the media, through Hitler, through whoever, right? You're brainwashed. In fact, I keep encouraging you guys, do the rice experiment. Do the rice experiment where you have 3 jars of rice. You cook the rice all in the same pot, using the same water, using the same pot, right? You cook it, and then you put a piece of the, a third of the rice in one jar, a third of the rice in one jar, a third of the rice in another. Then you label each of those jars. So go into a room, put a label on it, evil, bad words, devastation, destruction, chaos, evil, rape, murder. Write the evil shit, put it into a closet, let's say. Grab the next one, put nothing on there. What is happening when you're thinking these words? You're defining the words, you're putting spells on the words, and then you're putting power into the words. So then you have nothing on that jar. You put it in the closet. Then you grab the third one. You say some really nice things, love and beauty and whatever, right? You say all the good things. And then you put that jar in there. Watch, week after week goes by. that the good jar, that you put all the good things on it, have no mold, have no, it looks fresh almost. After 2-3 weeks. The one that's neutral is starting to get a little bit of mold after a few weeks. Because it's neutral. Then the evil one. Oh, look at it after just 2 weeks. Mind you, all the stuff came from the same pot, the same water, boiled, cooked, same way. Everything's equal. You put it in the same storage spot in the closet. So you can't say that, well, this one was in the garage and this one was, right? It's all in the same spot. The evil one's disgusting, right? The bad one. Do this experiment at home. Put your intention behind each of those jars. Watch after how many weeks that spell lingers. How much power you have with your spells and your intention. Watch. Do the experiment if you don't believe me. Don't just say I'm fucking nutty. Do the experiment. And truly put your intention behind those jars. And write those words. And as you're writing those words, have those feelings in the aura. And truly mean those things. Put it in the closet, wait a couple weeks, take them out. That's how powerful you are. That's how much you manipulate the world around you. That's how much you are powerful. Anyways, again, I didn't want this to be this long. You know I can fucking talk and talk and talk, and I still want to talk, but no one's going to watch it if it goes any longer. So I hope that you guys get something out of this video. I hope that you guys do. And that you can stop being powerless and start achieving power. You have abilities and power. And you have the ability to know what the occult knows, what the elite know. How to manipulate the world around you in a positive way, negative way. You can use your powers for good or evil. I suggest good. You know, I'm a moral philosopher. I would definitely rather you guys use these things for good instead of evil, but you can use it either way. But enough for this video. Stay tuned for plenty more videos on the way. Let me know if you want daily videos. Obviously, I'm not going to get many views if they're hour-long videos every day, but I'm trying to condense them. Sorry, guys. But stay tuned for more content. Plenty more coming. See ya.